Okay, so hello to everybody. So I'm going to try to give you a video tutorial about how to use Glnemo2 and how to answer to the questions that you asked me in your last email. Okay, here we have your cartwheel simulation. So right now we are using this new snapshot I sent you by email. It's a snapshot with Gadget 2 format. As I told you, it's easier to load. And there is 3 components. So we have first the gas particles here. Then we have the disk particles, which I call the disk particles, which correspond to all the stars particles. So I removed the dark matter here. We just have the old stars particles. And in the third component here, we have new stars particles. Okay, so the question that Muncho asked was about how to not scale the size of the particles when you zoom in and you zoom out. Okay, so if you click on this icon here, you get access to the different objects. And you can have here different parameters. Okay, by default, particles with Glnemo is rendered using a texture. Okay, so here texture is selected, and as you can see, you can modify the size of the textures here. Okay, even bigger. Oh, sorry. I have to be on the object in order to have access to the size of the particles. So here now I change the size of the textures, and as we can see, if we zoom in and zoom out, the size of the textures scale of the zoom. Now, if you don't want this effect, you can deselect texture effects here, but just select particle dots here. And now the size of the particles remain the same, whatever the zoom scaling. Okay? This is maybe what want Muncho in his rendering. Okay. So we can play with, now if I select the gas particles, so here, in order to have modification of the size of, okay, if you want to modify something on the object, remember that you must be here with mouse in the objects that you want to do, that you want to modify. So here we are on the gas particles, and here we can play on the size of the textures of the gas particles. Okay? For the gas particles, we have the density field that you know now, and you can play with the density field in order to increase what you want to see or decrease what you want to not see. Okay, now the question about movies. Okay, this is a weak part of my, okay, this is a kind of weak part of my programs. The weak part is the camera, actually. You can do a lot of interesting stuff with Glnemo2. You can make movies, but, to play with the camera is not very obvious. Okay, so what you can do, at least, if you are, you can make automatic rotation by typing Ctrl plus Y key, and automatically you see there is a rotation around Y screen axis. If I type again Ctrl Y, I stop the rotation. But from the interface also here, here, you can have access to the rotation, dialog box. And here, for example, if you click on y-axis, also, you see it rotates automatically the object around a virtual y-axis. You can do it in reverse order. You can also make a rotation around x-axis here. So you have a virtual x-axis on the screen, and click here. And in reverse orders. Sorry, here. You can also rotate around a virtual z-axis, which is in the direction of the viewer here. Okay. And also, you can rotate around the x, y, and z axis. You look here, for example, if I click on the u-axis, it will rotate around the red axis here, or on the v-axis here, it will rotate around, the green axis automatically. And if you know that, you can make movies by just playing with this stuff in order to have a smooth rotation. Look, now if we go to the movie page here, okay, then we select where we want to save our frames. We can select that we want to save our frames on GL events. What does that mean? It means that if I click on GL events here, every movement of my mouse, every rotation, every zoom in, zoom out will dump a snapshot on the disk. So let's make a directory here called frame. Then as base name of my frame, I keep again frame name. So now all the frames that I will record will go into this location. So now if I press on GL events here, look at the bottom of the screen, that everything I'm doing on screen dump a snapshot on disk, a JPEG file. So I can zoom in, I can zoom out, I can do whatever I want, I can play with the thresholds, all stuff like this, And I can also go, for example, in the rotation dialog box and select y-axis. And there is an automatic rotation on the y-axis. So you see that I am creating frames, which I dump on the disk. Okay, now imagine that you have several frames. I will explain in another tutorial. If you click on new frame, what does that mean? It means that it will automatically draw a new snapshot with a new loaded snapshot. Okay, so now we have 549 JPEG. So let's stop the rendering. And now if I go to the frame directory, what I get 500 snapshots. I wrote a program which make DivX of this file. So I give the directory where I am, the base name of the simulation, the name of the movie, the frame rate, 25 per second. I'm going to use 6 cores to encode that movie. So now it's making the movie. It will take some few seconds. Okay, it's almost done. Okay, so what we have now, we have a snapshot. We have, sorry, not a snapshot, but we have a movie file. If I use mplayer movie.avi, and what I get exactly a movie of what I did with my, mouse, my zoom in, my zoom out. Everything I showed you in live, in real time, now is saved, is in this movie. Okay, and you see you have smooth rotation by using all the options. Okay, that's it.